Good morning. This is video 2 of returning to running after hernia surgery. I am 14 days today post-op. I started running 3 days after my hernia surgery. My doctor okayed me to do that as long as I didn't have any pain, and I felt pretty great. So, how do I feel 14 days after surgery? I feel pretty good. Slightly 1 out of 10 pain every now and then on the pain scale, but other than, a little bit of swelling and some very, very light discomfort, I feel good. I feel positive. I've got a checkup in 2 weeks, so we'll see what the doctor says about that, and I'll let you guys know. But other than, I've weaned myself off of the medication. I take a little bit of Tylenol. I've taken a little bit of Advil here and there, seen if that would help remove some of the swelling. But there is, it's very little swelling. I think it's more like scar tissue around the hernia area, and I think that'll go down. We'll see what the doctor says in a couple weeks. But I spend a lot of time watching TV the last couple weeks and not working much for the first time in my life and doing a lot of icing. Which is what I basically do throughout the day. About once an hour, I'm laying down, icing, watching TV and playing on my phone and making phone calls and texting people and things like that. Today for the first time, I did a little bit of speed work, not really speed work, but just some pickups at 5:30 pace on the treadmill, and that felt pretty comfortable. Better than I expected, actually. So I ran 7.5 miles, and then the last half mile I just did 3 times pickup, and I got down to about 5:25, 5:30 pace, and I felt pretty good. I haven't ran outside yet. It's been pretty brutal weather for the last couple weeks, so I am flying to Florida tomorrow, and I will be doing my first outside run in over 2 weeks tomorrow once I get to Florida. Probably before dinner time, I'll probably just run 5 or 6 miles and then get into hopefully some regular running throughout the week. For those who don't know, I am coming back to try to run the Boston Marathon this year, and picked that race because my son goes to college in Boston, and I told him if he ended up going to college in Boston, I would run the Boston Marathon at least once, if not maybe every year, until he graduates. So I had a couple qualifiers from the previous year, and I entered the Boston Marathon, and that is 11 weeks from today. So that would have been 13 weeks from my surgery, and I'm on 11 weeks from the Boston Marathon. Now, that is a very tight window, as you know, if building up for a marathon. I've got to get to the point where I'm getting some at least 15, 16 mile runs in the next couple weeks. I think this weekend, I'm probably going to shoot for about 13 on the weekend, and then see if I can get up to 15 or 16 the following week. Next week, I'll probably try to do a little speed work, maybe a couple miles at like 6-ish minute pace, and see how that goes. Maybe some stride work and things like that. And slowly next week, try to get into slowly get back to my normal routine again of maybe doing one workout a week, 1 or 2 days of stride work, working towards that long run with a little bit of work over the next few weeks. So 4 years ago, I ran the Boston Marathon, and it was the year where they had it in the fall. And I think I was about 46, 47 at the time. I thought I was in 233 shape. I did go through half at under 117, probably 116.45 or so, and I hit the hills and did not expect that. I'm definitely not looking to run 235 or so like I wanted to a couple years ago, but hopefully I break 3 hours, and I have faith that if this comeback goes right and I don't have any setbacks from this hernia surgery, that maybe I can get down and run under 2 hours and 50 minutes. We'll see. 4 years ago when I ran Boston, I got through 16 miles pretty good, 17, 18 pretty good, but the last 6 to 8 miles were pretty brutal. I think I finished around 247, so definitely added about 12 minutes to my time over the last 12K or so. And hopefully that doesn't happen this year. I think I've learned a lot since then. I've learned more about nutrition, learned more about being patient in marathons, not working too hard too early. And we can, talk more about that as the next several weeks progress. But I just wanted to kind of give you a little history on how I did 4 years ago. And also I finished with a very bloody shoe from some bad blistering through the race. And that was not fun. I did not feel the blistering too much through the race, but after I got done, it was definitely pretty visible on my shoes. But other than that, Boston's a great city, great town. I'm really excited to get back there and, see how that goes. So for later on in this week, like I said, I'm flying to Florida tomorrow, and I'll get about 5 miles in when I get in an evening, probably before dinner. And then I plan on a few hour easy runs. And then probably Saturday morning, I'll shoot for that 13-mile run or so, and maybe try to run closer to 7-minute pace, especially in the back half of that. And maybe even dip under 7 for a few miles if I feel well enough. The weather, I'm not sure what it's going to look like, but it's Florida, and I'm in southern Florida, so it could be 70-some degrees in the morning when I'm running. I'm not sure, but I'm excited. I'm excited to get out of this cold weather, and it's been a foot of snow on the ground for the last couple weeks, and hopefully when I get back, we can get some melting going on here in Indiana, and I can start getting outside a little more and start running with some friends a little more. I do miss my Sunday long runs with my buddies, and hopefully I can get some good Saturday or Sunday long runs in over the next 10 weeks as I approach the Boston Marathon day. So let's check in with me in a week or so, and maybe in a couple days I'll post a video in Florida, and you can check that out, and maybe it'll probably just be a short video, but I appreciate you tuning in, and we'll see you in a week.